Hi, hello, and welcome to the Consularship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the. It's a consulship. We're gonna open the gate. We're gonna go before the throne. It's gonna be the throne of judgment, not mercy. I don't actually feel it's gonna be very negative, so nothing to worry about. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. Impla. Imperatore. Okay, well, we are going for the throne. Four of Swords, that's a little bit more serious. So, hi, hello, welcome. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're new, you belong, welcome home. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic symbol of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything that is said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. As always, my name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I will be your oracle today. We have the Fool, Child Divine, Artiste, Femme Fatale, Begar, and Don Juan. I'm hearing that, Don Juan. Okay. So with the Four of Swords, so there's a dark feminine, and it doesn't always mean it's up against us. It can be that we're connected to somebody because the twin flame has been coming back online. It's popping. Okay. A lot of us are gonna get hit with some kind of love energy pretty soon. And you know, the dark feminine, they get upset because we don't want them because they have like toxic behaviors. And I always get flack when I talk about the dark feminine. I, I'm just gonna do it. So it's an energy of not being able to be rejected. It's a pygmisha energy, and it can be graduated, but that's the baseline. So they don't like when they're rejected. They don't like when um, you don't want to like give to them, and a lot of times they try to engender or some type of connection, foster some type of rapport, but through lewd and lascivious means. It's not always sexual coitus copulation, but it could be touchy, nurtury, lovey type of bombing. And it's not always like a love bomb, but it's more of like, I care for you, I'm looking for you, I'm checking for you, I'm cooking for you, I'm cleaning for you, la di da, yada yada, or I did this for you, let me exact some type of reciprocation because I'm cold and calculated and scheming in the give, take, tit for tat. That's, again, more baseline energy. Graduated could be some type of false damsel energy. And it's not the damsel, because that's a slightly different archetype. It's more sensuality and eroticism, maybe a little bit of hedonism, again, another archetype, but that's the beginning. And it's a precursor for the dark feminine. So the dark feminine is the Jezebel, Delilah, false mother. That's the dark feminine. That's the triad of the dark feminine. Okay, so that's where we're gonna start this baseline, and that's what's coming through this week for the Tuesday counselorship. So um, I was gonna run this through, but I'm being told no. I'm being told to. Okay, so we got it. Grant me just a moment. So then there's this Don Juan. So they got seduced by our potentiality. There's something about us that seduced this energy. And now, if we're connected to a dark feminine, it might be triangulation. We'll see if that's the truth soon, but that's not what I'm getting. What I'm getting is that we have a pure, clean soul, and we look like a target. And what's seducing them is the fact that they think that they can dominate us in some kind of way. This is the emperor and the empress looking at each other. They think that they can dominate us in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. They think that they can exact some type of reciprocation or response. And our independence, our willingness to not our willingness to leave them be, to let them go, our unwillingness to lose our independence, our peace, really, because independence can become interdependence. It's not necessarily a good or bad thing. Hyper independence is more of a negation. There's something about us that's kind of still and unwavering, but it's soft as well. So we're flexible like bamboo. We bend, but we don't break. We're standing our ground in some way because there might be a little begging, but it seems to be like that quiet ask. Um, So instead of like if we bake a dozen cookies, instead of them saying like, "Oh, hey, can I have a cookie?" They're like, "Oh, you make cookies." Okay, well, you're alluding to something because I'm not going to offer nothing. You better ask, or it's a no. And then there's this, I'm getting their energy slapping us around. So it's that respectability politics, which is tone policing, individuality shaming, compassion baiting, concern trolling. It's generally or ultimately suppression, repression, depression, oppression, projection of the self. And again, they're recognizing qualities and characteristics in ourself in us that they do not possess, and typically is a wholesomeness. And it doesn't mean a weakness, but they may perceive it as if they're a little bit more along the line of toxicity. If they're the low end, which is typically A, not anti. I mean, we can use the word social for the spectrum. And social is a socialization, meaning how one is conditioned and programming and what society expects from the person and their ability to remain present and participate in that spectrum, which comes with a set of expectations. Okay. And so when I say A or anti, meaning asocial or antisocial, that's the spectrum, regardless of where they fall on it. I'm not going to diagnose here. This is a therapeutic space, not a clinical space. So if they're asocial, it means they lack qualities of mastery. They lack a maturity. If they're antisocial, it means they possess all those qualities and characteristics, but they bastardize them. They um, divert them. They use them to their advantage, but to others' disadvantage. They use them to harm. That would be the antisocial part of the spectrum. The asocial part of the spectrum is where they don't possess those qualities or they possess very little of those qualities, so much so where it's like a lack of maturity or maybe even a lameness. Okay. And so the other aspect that I'm getting is that there's some kind of triangulation here where maybe we're connected to a masculine or we're connected to a role of responsibility, duty, obligation. And they're trying to use their relationship to us to exploit or to seize, to exploit, to extrapolate, to seize upon aspects, quality, characteristics is some kind of power, not usurp. Because the thing with the femme fatale is that they need you to be one of their lackeys. They need you to essentially be one of their slaves. They need you to be under their spell. But the thing is that we possess that energy in its extroverted form. So we are the counter to that energy. It's just that we show up looking like a beggar. We seem disempowered in the physical world. We don't have all the riches that it might seem. So they think they're going to put us to work to go out and gain those riches so that they can use. We have humility, compassion, self-esteem, but there's nothing to show for it, or so they would think. It's not true. Not all riches are physical, and it doesn't mean that we lack physical possessions. A lot of people have a rich man's attitude because they had money once, but now they're in a season of loss. It doesn't mean they're not going to redeem. They might have the bag again tomorrow. And I'm not talking about material abundance. We may have that, but we don't have it in the way that this other energy, entity, ideology would perceive. There is some kind of low that they're seeing, that they're perceiving. They're looking at us like we're on the outs. It can mean that we have stinking thinking, so they perceive. It can mean that, okay, but we're a little monkish. Eight of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. So Eight of Pentacles is saying somebody has their sun in Virgo or midheaven in Virgo, which might mean we're dealing with the Sagittarius rising. We're a little bit monkish. Eight of Cups might mean that we renounced a lot. Renunciation could be the Eight of Cups, and I'm hearing Eight of Pentacles. So they want to put us to work in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. I don't know what that's about. They have some kind of agenda. They are projecting onto us, and so this is what I'm getting, and this is just an archetype. So we may not be dealing with this person. We may be connected to somebody intimately, and we're being triangulated by this type of person. Because when this energy, the femme fatale, latches on to their target, is because they really want protection, and they want affection, affirmation, adoration, appreciation, acknowledgement. And oftentimes they think that by securing this external entity, meaning a person, they also secure the spot and the riches that come along with that person. And ultimately it's to divert and to diminish and to use. Okay. And like I said, they want the spot of that person. So we're in the way. This is the Emperor and the Seven of Cups. We're in the way. Empress and the Four of Wands. We're in the way. For some of us, we're in the way. That's what they see. They perceive us in the way. They want to go through us to get something, and that's why we're being targeted. We are the road, either the clearance of the road or the road to this thing that they're after. Because they perceive Eight of Swords as kind of scratched out, faded. It's kind of faded. They perceive us as being the obstacle to this thing that they want. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what they're smoking, but. And so here it's saying like, because what they perceive is that they can use us by seducing us for some private agenda. And they might not seduce us intimately sexually. They might try to be our friend or the mother we never had or whatever, what have you. They're trying to exploit something. You know, they have some also talent, maybe access to information even. But they're also trying to solicit some kind of pity out of us. That is something that I keep getting. And this is the archetype. So even if it's not coming to us in the physical, grant me a moment. It is in the spiritual. So they could be fighting for our spot because they think they're going without. But honestly, when the black energy comes out, these two cards are black. It means that they were put in the dark for a reason, to purify, to cleanse. They have to find their own light because they weren't tuning in, plugging into the all that is light, the divine. For whatever reason, standing before God, they couldn't get the clue, so they had to live without God for a lifetime or two. Ultimately. So we might be able to close this out. Let me see. Because there's some kind of temptation here where it's a late arrival, so they're going to take their time exercising, making their move, because there is an agenda here. Yeah, we can close out with they don't want to put their own effort, dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. They don't want to depend on others. I mean, they don't want to do their own work. They have to depend on others to get their whatever off the ground. Okay, we're actually being called to another throne. So we're going to learn about the strategy tactic. It's going to get crunk for a minute. I'm sorry. I apologize. We're actually not going to go there. I'm going to just take care of this. I'm just going to take care of this. I'll give you some, I'll prescribe right now. Imperatore. Okay, so I'm just going to send this energy back. First of all, I decline. Thank you. No, thank you. No, grazie. And again, we're just going to say no. We're going to close the door, shut the gate, block the road, lock the window, quarantine the dimension, collapse the portal, whatever. Revoke, rescind, rebuke, reject, repel, decline times 9, negate times 4, shut the gate, close the door. I recall, I reclaim, I return to rightful owner. Okay, yeah, so there is some, so we are the source to some kind of material abundance, and it's kind of like a raw potentiality. So there's some kind of temptation that they want us kind of stuck on them, and they need to get our sex energy involved so that they can have access to our energy. They need to trigger the libido, which usually is sex, but it's not always. The libido is any part of us that needs to be satiated. It could be hunger, it could be sleep, it could be exercise, it could be um, coitus copulation. I call it la cessa, the sex. Yeah, so first of all, they are trying to touch the covenant on our life. They're not able to because they might be fallen, they might have fallen out of grace or whatever, but they're undesirable. So right now, heaven don't want them. They're not able to stand before the throne of the divine because of how they're living down here in the physical. So that's just something for us to be aware of. They are rejected. And so let me, what's going to happen, this little shot is it's telling me to place them in prison, to sentence them to something, because they have an inability to defend themselves from the negative forces that they're sending us, but they're perceiving us as innocent, pure. So they want to come in and be our savior or redeemer, but they also cause the catalyst that would make us ask for help. So they're trying to trigger us feeling weak or whatever, but they don't realize that we have our own source of power. We're self-possessed, which means self-guided, self-directed. They're not able to perceive that, and that's just the thing. Like they have some kind of agenda, and this is abuse. So I said I'm going to sentence them to whatever. They're being charged guilty of something, and now they're going to become a criminal. They don't care. They know they have charges out with the universe, and so they're going to just become a hoodlum. They're going to, back in the divine realm, they're actually like a gangster, a capo, a boss. That's the choice they're going to try to make down here. Once the energy cycles all the way through, that's what everything is going to equate to. They would choose to be a schemer, a boss. That's what they want our energy for, because they're looking to steal something from the source. Um, yeah, so right now down here upon the earth, they're a sorceress, but back in heaven, they're a gangster, like a capo. They're not no low on the low. They're like almost like a boss. So that energy is gonna get them invited to hell. I have to say that. I don't know which level of hell they're going to. I don't know what ranking they have in the spiral, but that's just no, 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 no. So normally I would exit because we have a double royal, but I'm gonna keep going. It's telling me to do. Um, So, because we have this full energy here, so they're using lightheartedness or humor to wound rather than to liberate, and they're denying their own truth, so they're harming us. Really, they're sad that they got kicked out of heaven, but they're not saying that. Like, "Ugh, I don't understand pretext or pretense. I don't get it. I don't understand. Unless you're an operator, why do that? But that's what's going on. So, okay, all right. That's what you're gonna do. How you gonna be? That's how it is. What it is. Okay, baby. Just remember, karma is a short-ordered clip. You get exactly what you put out into the universe. It will come back. Yeah, I just keep getting your head ain't right. Yeah, so they're depressed because they got kicked out. They really did get kicked out of heaven. They're persona non grata. They're what's called an undesirable. They feel unwanted. They're depressed. They might have been miserly and bitter for some time. And but this is what I was saying. They're going to be sentenced. I called in for their sentencing. So that was successful. That petition was granted. Um, and I did that for us. I just had to make a shot call. It's unfortunate. But down here upon the earth, they're not living right. So unless they decide to reincarnate and try again, they're just going to have to go to the pit. I don't know what level of the pit they're going to. It's not necessarily um, Tartarus. So their infraction is not bad enough yet, but they won't make it into paradise. I don't know what to say. Um, it does feel a little extreme, so let's move through this um, depression that they have, this miserly, bitter energy that they're living in. Let's see why they got a chip on their shoulder, why they're mean mugging. Okay, because they have lofty goals. They want to be some kind of captain of industry. They want to be a baller, shot caller. They really want to be rich, wealthy, but they're unwilling to put time, energy, effort, and attention into anything. I don't know what that's about. Okay, because they had something that they were working on previously, but they lost it. Really, because they didn't really, okay, I know what it is. They were born with a path and they never worked that path. I feel like whatever origin they were born into, they got lured away, probably by their mama, and they chose to work with a clique, a cabal, a coven of some kind. Um, it might have been by origin that got them, that gave them their station where they are. So they got what they wanted, but it wasn't the right method. So they got something that is, it's like you're ordering online and you make a mistake, and when you get the package in the mail, you can't send it back. That's what happened. So they were successful, but they were successful in the wrong way. So now the rest of their life, they're going to have to be part of the sinners, not the trespassers, but the sinners. So they do have an opportunity to come to earth again and try again, but this lifetime's kind of shot. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry, baby, but that's what it is. So they are not willing to face their karma. They're not, and they keep making karmic causes that's going to get them shot down to the depths of hell. I want to say they're degrading their whatever they have left of divinity. They're degrading it because all they can focus on is the fact that they're no longer chosen. They've lost their divine favor. Well, that's what's up. Okay, that's how the game be. Sometimes play it. It might not be your fault. So become a monk, become a nun. That's really what you got to do. Serve the Lord the rest of your days and try again next lifetime. It sucks. It does. I understand. But what you don't do is double down. Heavenly court is not like earthly court. You can't play the little games and then do the little loopholes you can do down here. You can get away with anything. You get good documentation and a good lawyer. It's not like that upstairs. It's not like that upstairs. So they just want their birthright, but it's gone. It's been something's happened to it. It's quarantined from them. It's put on hold. There's some kind of ruling. They've already been taken to court. And so they want to come through on another person's soul and try again, but that's a loophole. That's cheating. That's cheating. Because they're a skillful priest, but they're not the right type of priest. You can receive grace in this lifetime. It's quite unlikely, but you can, but not through doing nefarious means. What they want is to get their spot back, the one that they lost. But there was some type of conditioning and programming. I honestly feel like they had an evil mother who lured them on the wrong path, and they doubled down on it. Nine of Wands is a doubling down, and so what they got was they got punished. They got set down and popped in the mouth by the Lord. That's really what happened. The work that they put in got them rejected by the divine. And now they still have their potential. They didn't get their soul extinguished, but they are forbidden. They've been written out of the contract. It was revoked. And so their destiny in this lifetime is delayed, and it's not going to come in this life. That's just what it is. So that's why we're being targeted. That's because they think that they can use our clearance to return, even though they know that they don't have supreme authorization. This is some type of triangulation. It's unfortunate because they're trying that, and they're part of a group that does this as well. So the person that led them down the path that got them suspended for a lifetime, they should be upset with that person. Instead, they're upset with everybody who still has their divine credentials. They're still upset with anybody who's chosen. They're fallen. See, fallen angels can redeem themselves. That's the thing that people don't realize. Just because your wings turn black doesn't mean you now have gargoyle wings. You still have feathered wings. You just don't have 6 wings anymore. You have 2, and your wings are no longer white. They're black, but you still have wings. So I'm gonna stop at that's poor baby. I understand. Now I get why you bugging, mean mugging. Now I get it. So their dependency means that they need somebody divine to come in and help them. That's what it is. Because um, what they're after is our coveted spot. They want to use our throne to do something, and that's not Guan Hapan. That's Ni Guan Hapan. Poor baby. I understand. That's a hard one. Yeah, so there's a mystery here now. Yeah, so I called what it is. That what it is we seem like they feel like we've abandoned them because their tricks and tactics and their little ways don't work on us. It might appear because we're not openly combative, but we're done with them. We're done with them. And they don't like that. They're protesting that. Oh, they're protesting that. Okay, well, that means you still need to learn, honey. You still need some awakening. Yeah, it's because we want to be in peace. We want peace, and they can't offer that. So we can go to the Garden of Eden. We can't take them with us where we're going, but they're attached to it. Yes, there's an ending here, a transformation. They're really attached to what they thought they were going to get out of us, even though they know they can't get it out of us. So they're this is a dangerous combination here. It really is. We have to sever something because there's still some kind of tie. They're using mirror magic. So it's like when they found out that we weren't complicit in their plans or that we weren't as innocent or naive as they thought we were, now they're of an opposing mind. They're going to try to force us to do something and they're just going to force our hand. So they're using mirror magic. We need to secure our spot in some kind of way. That's the truth, by the way. But they're using mirror magic. So they're showing up with our energy to some kind of divine throne, trying to exercise some type of right. So that's why I say I rescind, I rebuke, I revoke, I reject, I repel, because it's a no. The answer is no. Yeah, we need to do some kind of ritual or prayer to remove their energy from our life because they still have some kind of loophole in, and I wouldn't call it a loophole, but they have a back door to our energy and they're still in it. I don't think we're with this energy anymore. This is a past. Yeah, they really want to access the destiny that we have because we still have the right to the promise on our life, and they don't. They can't make any more moves, and it's enraging them. There's rage here. They're trying to defy God. The answer was no, but they're trying to do something anyways. So let me just cover us really quickly. Yeah, I don't know what combination I had. Give me a second. Yeah, you see, we are the source, the key holder to something that they really, really, really want. And they're gonna try until they're dead in the face. Yeah, see, they keep being pushed out, repelled, they keep being stripped of this access that they have to us, and they're gonna keep trying. Because they won once upon a time for a brief amount of moment, they're not able to accept defeat now because it was an illusionary success. They thought they had won, and then later on down the line, they realized, oh, I got fooled. So it's like they're desperate for some type of power, and they're even going and getting help for it. They're collaborating with others, or they might have promised some kind of result from something that we need. That they might have promised some kind of result to something that they need access to our power, but the access is not granted. They are using a clique, a coven, a cabal, a community to get access to regain access, but it's just because we haven't exerted our authority yet, not fully. So they keep, sending the evil eye our way so that we lower our vibration just a little bit. They need us to fight with them to get off the throne and get petty. It's not going to happen. And it's they're energetically targeting our spot. again, we're going to secure this position that we have. And that's the truth. We're chosen, they're not. Hold on. We are the key holder, they're not. We grant the access, they're not. They're fake chosen. They're not, they don't have the access credentials that they want everybody to believe that they do. They're not who they say they are, spiritually or physically. So they're running some type of scam, whether it's in this world or the next. Let's take a look here. Yeah, period, point blank. So they're after our material abundance, and it might not have been anchored into the physical yet, but it's supposed to come in this lifetime. And that's what they're after. We have wealth in our hands. They need to see us fall so that we don't come into this promise on our life. They want to make us fallen alongside them. And that means they have power over us. And it's honestly, this is the reason we're being targeted. But see, the Knight of Swords is the thing that undoes the Nine of Swords. And remember what I said? They're going to do something that gets them thrown in the pit. They're getting close. They keep cursing themselves even more. So they already have been brought up on charges and they were found guilty. There's a reason that they're quarantined. They want to find a new way to rank to receive their old rank, but the only way they can receive their old rank is in the other side with the competitor, with the enemy, not with us. So they're telling me to send this energy back. I never do that. I can transmute any energy that's sent my way, unless it makes me sick to my stomach, which is usually a love spell. So um, we're safe. That's just the thing. We're really safe. That it's enraging them, and honestly, they're gonna get in big trouble because the angel of presence, the one that represents like the chief of staff, is aware of this. So God knows exactly what's going on. It's gone all the way to God's desk. That's just no, don't do that, honey boo. Don't do it. Yeah, they need some sense knocked into them. And honestly, what's gonna amount to that in this world is we just gotta hurt their feelings because it's passive aggression. They lost and now they're attacking us because they're not successful. Because their plan didn't work, so they want to badmouth us or something like that. Honestly, what I heard is they want to attack us because they're a loser. That feels like a judgment. Okay, well, no, they really do have an agenda here. It's they're in their ego. They're in their ego because they think that they deserve what we have, but they can't reach us. And instead of paying attention to what they did, what happened, what the results were, they're in their ego about it. Okay. So they're trying to tempt us down, but we're a temptation up. And instead of them realizing, like, oh, I should be better, I should up my game, I should handle up, I should make amends to the Lord, they're on some other. And they have an altar with our face on it. I mean, our name. They have an altar with our name on it. Three of Pentacles came too many times with the Five of Cups. That's the confirmation. Okay, so I just broke the connection to that altar. Grant me a moment. We're going in here. Yep. Okay, so we can get out of here now. Now they're on notice. Like they can't make it into heaven. Not back. They can't make it back into heaven. They're again another loss for them. And it's because our higher self is very upset. We're kind of experiencing a little bit of rage because now we've been targeted by the other side. Now the competition is trying to lure us away, and it's not actually going to happen. That decision for us has been suspended. It's not we're not going to exercise that. And they've been judged as guilty. They were found guilty, convicted of some spiritual offense. So does it matter all their little invitations? We've already worked that out. We've already gone to the deal table and figured that out. And the answer was no. We moved on from all the little options that they're offering us. The answer was no. We decided to get up from the table to go elsewhere because we were already content with what we had, which was God. We already know what's up. And so their breadcrumbing, their little lures, their little tricks, their little quaps, their little quips, it was a no. Their access, their clearance, their favor, their help, their support was nullified. Essentially, what they were able to accomplish was being cut off because they were of an opposing mind. They thought they were going to get in there and change our mind or tell us what to do or defy God. So what they had their access cut off. Now the universe itself, the entire universe itself is defending us. Because what they like to do is use root work or personal effects, voodoo dolls, something like that. I'm getting that they're using root and voodoo dolls. Something about the feet and the spine is what they like to stick the needles. And they like to put swamp water in the jar that they have us in. That's the kind of hoe this is, excuse my language. That's the kind of practitioner we're working with. They're high level too. So they received their rank again, but in the dark. They already were tired of being told no and being punished and being told what they need to do to redeem and to rehabilitate themselves. So they just ignored the angels and went straight to the devil because they didn't want to lose their rank. And God took their rank away, so they went to the enemy to get the same kind of position they had for the Lord. Because they were too hungry. They weren't going to go without in this life. And they thought they won, but what they won was a trip to purgatory. They're officially fallen. And they're pretending to still have God's grace. They don't. They don't. Their spot has been nullified already. It's already been taken away. And they're refusing to be left to their own devices. So they keep they keep trying to gain the benefit package that being chosen would get, but they need to be in cahoots with another chosen individual. And I don't think that's happening. So they keep looking for schemes and they keep targeting individuals. Um, that's a confirmation. So um, we have a big promise in our life, and unfortunately for them, they're gonna have a hard time getting authentic love from any person who's chosen because they need people who have yet to awaken. They have this really perfect con and scheme that works for most people, but they're coming up against somebody that's being protected by the universe itself. It's unfortunate. They can't get the type of individual to target that they want. They need an innocent soul, that's true, but the most innocent of souls, the type that they need, God is already watching. Unfortunately, in this last handful of years, I'm hearing 3 to 5 years, the Lord went and institutionalized any really powerful yet innocent chosen one. 3 to 5 years ago, maybe they would have found the last, like if you were the last man on earth, well, 3 to 5 years ago, there was a couple of few people that didn't have the right type of protection, but that ended. That's over. So they don't know this yet, but they're working against themselves. They've yet to get the message. Unfortunately, they're late to getting the message because they're a ruler. They need to boss people around to do things, but they have other people do their work for them, and that's what it is. The gate to the divine has been shut to them. It's been closed, and they spend a lot of time targeting people because they do divination on them to see how they would act, to see how they would react, to see how they would respond, to see what the predilection of their flesh is. All the while, they've been cut out. They've been canceled. They've been canceled. They've fallen from grace big time. Okay. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. If anything resonates deeply with, go ahead and like. If anything is deeply resonating, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Yeah, okay. So there's some heavy terms and conditions here, and it was really quite wonderful. Yeah, we're the winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So, this was a message about a dark feminine targeting us. It's a witch, a sorceress. They are fallen. Once upon a time, early in life, they had the promise on their life to redeem themselves in this lifetime. Unfortunately, I think they were associated early in life, maybe a mother, maybe a family member, into a path that got them fallen from grace. They made decisions, they took actions that they fell out of favor. And instead of doing what they needed to do to get back into favor, they decided to double down, triple down. They decided to become a raider to try to seize and exploit. They decided to join the enemy, to go to the other side. They're even becoming a little bit clinical. I won't say the words, but they have a diagnosis now. Okay, I don't know what that is. It's not my place to say that. I don't, so I won't describe even more. But they're losing their mind. I don't know exactly what the pathology on that is, but that is what is happening. So they're becoming obsessive and compulsive, hypervigilant. Okay, and ultimately, they're really close to being put into damnation. So they're cursed for this life. They have to come back and try again. They're no longer in union with the divine. They're a third will. Enemy, distrust. This is what they want to do. Since they're not going to be given, this is what they're going to try to do. And we won. We made it. And that's enraging them. So not only do we have somebody targeting us to get what we have, but we have somebody targeting us because they're upset that we have, what they want. They're upset because they think they're better than us, and we accidentally stumbled into the greatness that they have been aspiring to their whole life. And they do know more than us. They are more technically wise than us, but practically, they're not worthy. Sometimes what you lack in expertise or what you lack in knowledge, you make up for in effort. So we tried really hard and we got something and they got nothing, even though they tried, but they tried the wrong things and they went about it the wrong way. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. Just a quick prayer to all those still lost out there to illusion, confusion, delusion, trapped in the seas of time, lost in the matrix. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be whole, may you receive everything you ever wanted, starting with what you deserve. Anapana, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I pray that you return to the splendid grace of the divine, of unconditional love and universal oneness, with your steps ordered and your path illuminated. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, dandava, and ashe. Sayonara, das vidanya, avida zay. Ciao, ciao.